We say what's going on, everybody. It's Christian Ballard, Ballard Sports Media, coming at you actually from the kitchen table this time. If you guys want to look real quick, we got a beautiful view on Smith Lake, Alabama today, where I live, and it's not too bad. You can't really see the lake. You see our unfinished kind of patio there, screen porch, but it's not too bad. This is the Ballard Blitz, and I usually just sit here and talk to you guys, and we cover college football, we cover all kinds of fun stuff. I honestly, I had to come up with something a little bit, and I did want to get back to talking some college football this week on the podcast. Appreciate everyone listening to it. If you're listening to it as a premiere, watching it back, you're driving to work, you're napping, you're trying to relax at home, you're studying, whatever it might be. Thanks for taking some time out of your day to listen to this. We'll see how long we go today. We're already a minute and a half in. That being said, uh, by the way, I'll throw this graphic up here. It's in the works. I really badly want to get back to this podcast is going to be the podcast, right? Where we have interviews and conversation with you guys. I'm in talks with our friend TikTok Chess Hall to maybe try to get him on here or so. We're still trying to work things out. We've had Mayhem on here. It'd be cool to get Nate the Great. Maybe we get big guys like Pigskin Pete or Uncle Lou on here too. We'll see. Just got to reach out to them and see what we can do because we definitely want to get some of you in the community on here and we want to grow this podcast. But I'll throw this graphic up here for a second. A cheap view. So this kind of came to mind before we get into today's topic. I want to get back to baseball for sure. Like I do love baseball. I do love the sport. I played it growing up in little league and t-ball. I love the Braves, the Chop House, and everything. You go to Truist Park. That, by the way, is in this background here. Um, so I kind of came up with the title for this one. This will be a baseball podcast, and we'll get it going. We'll have notes. We'll kind of, as my radio boss would say, you kind of critique your craft a little bit, and we'll put something big together to bring you baseball content on this channel. We'll go live for some games too throughout the season, and we just got to work around my work schedule and school and everything because obviously you got to have priorities like that in order. But this is something I want to get big on, and this is something I want to work out, and I do want to bring baseball back. I don't want to just be a college football channel. I know we're in a college football community, and that's fine and dandy. But honestly, when you look at the title of this channel, it's Ballard Sports Media. We're going to do March Madness. We're going to get into spring training and stuff, or maybe we might skip spring training. Maybe we get started late March when the actual regular season starts. I really don't know, but I am in the belief that God wants to do big things in my life. I know He does. I feel like one of the big things He wants to do is something with this channel. Now, maybe it's hit its peak. That doesn't mean I'm going to quit or give up. I don't know. I mean, what do we have right now? 1,170 something subscribers. Thank you all, by the way. Over 2,000 videos, counting live streams and everything. It's incredible. It's incredible. But why do I feel like there's more? But then I also have those days where I feel like it's at its peak. But I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to give up. We're going to keep going with it. All right. So, a cheap view. And I got that title because I was listening today to some Alabama, and they have a song called The Cheap Seats. And sorry about that, by the way. They, I don't know. I'm like, well, you're in a cheap seat. You probably got a great view. Well, a great view just sounds kind of boring. I don't know. Like, I don't know what it is, but I just that title kinda clicked, and because of how my brain works, I think something weird like that can play off, right? You know what I'm saying? So we'll roll with that. If you have any suggestions for a different title, I guess I'll take them into consideration, but I think I'm gonna roll with that for a while, and we'll get this started. I think I wanna do we'll keep the Ballard Blitz on Wednesdays, and we'll do MLB Mondays. We'll get this one out Monday mornings for you. Monday and Wednesday for our podcast. So, really do appreciate all of you out there. Be sure to hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. We'll try to get back to our Sunday night call-in shows too. I've been working the past few Sundays, and one of those Sundays too, I had gotten back from Panama City from the Slob Olympics, which was great. So, we'll try to get back to all that. Now to get into today's topic. We'll try to be quick on it a little bit. Um, will a 12-team playoff really help us as college football fans for the playoff committee, for all the teams out there? Is it going to help or hurt? I don't know. We've talked a little bit about it, but not too far in depth. I think that honestly, when you dive into it, it's kind of a double-edged sword, right? And it's kind of two sides to the coin, and it's so there's not really a straight answer. It will hurt us, or it will help us. We know this. We don't know. You don't know because you got to think about this, man. Like when you have a 12-team playoff this year, you're gonna have the top six conference champions, right? Then you're gonna have half of those teams. The other six are at large bids. You might get a one-loss SEC team, two-loss teams, ACC, whoever, another group of 5. You're gonna get these teams. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, makes sense. Listen, there's if you think that there was controversy with the 4-team playoff, and there was. I mean, this last year with Florida State getting snubbed, at least we think, until they got blown out by Georgia, which you could say whatever you want to about that game. Some people say Georgia should have been in after winning that game the way they did. I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe both of them should have got it. There's so much controversy with a 14 playoff. Let me say this 12 teams against 4 teams. You probably say, I prefer the 12. That makes sense to me. Okay, we'll expand to 12. I thought it should have been 8, but fine. We'll roll with 12 teams. Nobody you're not gonna satisfy everybody. Someone is gonna find something to whine, moan, and complain about with this 12-team playoff. I don't know what it is. The 12 seed, you're gonna say, well, you put a group of 5 team in like Fresno State. It probably should have been Coastal Carolina. Someone's gonna find something to cry about and complain about. I'm not here to call anybody out. I don't know who it's gonna be. I don't know how. It's obvious we'll be okay with the top Power 5 conference champs and the Group of 5 champ, and then you get the at-large Power 5 teams. Well, you're gonna have multiple 1 and 2 loss teams, right? You're never gonna settle for this was the exact right pick unless you dive into the head-to-head competitions and these teams have played each other and you just pick whoever won that game, right? But you're not always gonna have that either. So let me ask you guys this question based on the title, episode 6. Will a 12-team playoff really help us? I don't think so. But I don't think it's gonna hurt you. I think it's just gonna be basic. I'm not gonna say it's gonna make things worse, but it darn sure ain't gonna make it better. we're going into this season with conference realignment with Texas, Oklahoma to the SEC. You already have the new Big 12. Um, the Big 10 adds 4 teams: Oregon, Washington, UCLA, USC. It's a 12-team playoff, right? Like, what do we expect? We don't know the teams yet. You're gonna end you know what's gonna happen is you'll get like a 9-3 or 10-2 Alabama this year. Just throwing a record out there for Kalen DeBoer's first season. I don't think he's gonna crash and burn or anything. And let's say they go 10-2. Let's say Alabama goes 10-2. And it came down to like, I don't know, pick another good team out there that's could do that. Louisville was pretty good last year. We'll use that. And it comes down to that 12th spot. Neither team really made their conference title. Neither team they were really close, but they didn't quite get there. You had Florida State and Clemson, and then let's say you had Georgia, and well, I don't know, pick someone outside of Ole Miss. I don't know. You take two 10-2 teams, and if they put Alabama in there over Louisville, let's say records are the same situation for both teams. Let's say the resumes are both kinda even, you played the same amount of ranked teams and, head-to-heads and, whatever it might be. They're gonna put Alabama in. Hypothetical situation here, by the way. And you're gonna say, "Whoa, whoa, Bama biased in the room, people." Some people will call bull, being the Alabama fan. "Oh, it's not Bama bias, we're just better than Louisville." Maybe. No one's gonna be satisfied. And you know what? There's the other side of the coin. What if they took that Louisville team and placed them in over Alabama? Well, there's SEC bias or anti-SEC bias. They left out another SEC team. You're gonna have the SEC and Alabama. Oh, you're against Alabama. You're either for or against Alabama. Like it, no one's gonna be satisfied. So let me ask you guys the question: will a 12-team playoff really help us in college football? I think that there's going to be those moments where some people are just gonna get pissed off. Honestly, just call it what it is. They're gonna get mad. They're going to have those moments they blow up. But like you can't like there's no right way to do the playoff. I mean there is, but there isn't. Like you we're expanding to 12 teams because there's so much controversy now with the 14 playoff. There's been that for quite a while. And now in 2024, as I record this on March 12th, you talk about 6 months from now, you're going to have new conferences when the season kicks off. You're going to have new conference members, I should say. You're going to have a 12-team playoff race. The playoff shows will look different because they'll do the top 12 or whatever, however it might look. I don't know. Um, is this hurting college football? Like, what are we doing? I'm not for or against this. Honestly, I think it'd be great. A 12-team play. It means more football games. It means upsets. You get a Cinderella team in there, they go win the whole thing, and honestly, it's I mean, it'd be like Christmas time in January next year, right? Like, I think it'd be great. But you're gonna have those people. It's not about me. It's not about you. It's just about college football, right? Like, Well, my team didn't get in, and they went 10-2, and they whatever. They're the last team left out. The one team that coulda moved up one spot. Someone's gonna get upset. This is just kinda what I threw together today and wanted to talk about this week on the podcast. This is episode 6, by the way. Be sure to hit that thumbs up, hit the subscribe button on here. Go back and listen to past episodes of the Ballard Blitz. You can find the podcast, playlist on the channel, Ballard Sports Media. I I don't know how to satisfy you with college football. First off, I can't do anything about the 12-team playoff. I'm not on the committee. What I can do is be a good show host on here and tell you, "You know what? Here's the positives of it. Here's the great thing about it. Let's just use positivity. How can we make this better?" You look at all the negatives of the 12-team play. How about more football games this year? What if you have a center what if you have a TCU this year again? Or out of the blue LSU 2019? Using those years and seasons as examples of teams come out of nowhere in college football? My goodness. I don't know where else to go with this other than I really think it helps us more than it hurts us as college football fans for a 12-team playoff. We could talk about what's hurting college football, and I could go down the list with that. NILs to start with, we'll talk about that some other time, I'm sure, but the 12-team playoff, I don't see how it's really gonna hurt too much. I mean, it'll do a little bit of damage because, like I said, you're not gonna please everybody, and someone's gonna get their feelings hurt because their team gets left out. Big whoopity deal. You're hurt. That fan base will be hurt. But you look at the teams that get in there, like a USC or a Utah or a Florida State or whoever, and let's say, I don't know, there's so many teams to pick that could get left out of this last minute. That fan base is gonna be crying because they got left out. Even though they had a good season and they get to go to a bowl game, they're gonna be left out, and they're gonna complain on social media, and we'll have to put up with it. And we'll take it, and we'll be there to help you guys get through it, trust me. But man, like I said, you won't be able to please everybody with this. You just can't. So will it help us in college football? In some ways, yes. In some ways, no. I think the only conclusion I have come to with this episode, or on this episode, however you want to put that, is that it will hurt those who had a shot of getting in the 12th spot that didn't make it. Other than that, if you're 1 through 12, you're fine and dandy. You're happy. You got in the playoffs, right? That's how I view it. Quick episode today. We're almost done. You are going to have teams that really had a legit case to make it in spots 10 through 12, right? And it'll come down and you'll pick those last 3 or 4 teams and like you're going to pick them the final 4 in and they have a legit argument, a legit case to be made why they should have been in there. But so do the teams that already got in. I don't think there's gonna be look, there might be. I'm not going to rule that out. There might be some committee bias with this 12-team playoff. It's very possible. It's also possible that they're just trying to do their job and pick which of the best 12 teams they think deserve to get in that also line up with the criteria and rules that have been set by the playoff chair and committee. So, you know what? Can't please everybody. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on this. I want to hear from you guys. If you're watching this back, go down in the comments. Leave me a comment. Let me know where you agree or disagree. Because I see it as either way, we have expanded this playoff to 12 teams because 4 is not enough. Oh, there's so much controversy with 4 teams. Unless you have a 130 team bracket for all of the FBS, which please don't let it get to that. Unless you have that, there's going to be controversy for those final spots. Some people do hypothetical 64 team playoffs, 20 teams, 30, whatever, hypotheticals. The teams left out, some of them have a case to be in, and somebody's going to get their feelings hurt. I'm not here to be that guy that like, oh, we need to hurt feelings and this or that, or like grow up. And I'm not trying to be like that. I'm just saying the 12-team playoff, in a way, will help college football. It gives us more football games to watch. Put your big boy pants on and just watch the games for entertainment. Like, honestly, that's what I'm gonna do starting this year in 2024. Just watch the games. Forget if your team made it or not. Watch who's in there, and then see what happens. Now, you get the number 1 seed in there, or the top 4 that get the bye, and it ends up being those 4 teams every year, which I doubt. Then we'll say, "Okay, this was really not worth it." Because we're still like, we might as well have stuck to a 14 playoff, right? But think about the Cinderella and wild card teams that you'll get that can go a long way, honestly. I think that's gonna be one of the best parts of this. I love you guys. God bless. Please hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and, we got big things coming to this channel. We're gonna get back to it. I love y'all. Sorry we took a 2, 3-week hiatus on this podcast, but we're back at it. We'll get it rolling. Love y'all. Y'all have a good one.